everybody! Welcome to another exciting episode of Perpetually Ajar. I am your host, Katy Johnson, aka Weiss Penny Pella Donuts, Velvet the Chocolate Rabbit, and Cinderfall. And you can also hear me talking on this podcast. Yay! And we also have your co-host, Beau.
Wow, way to steal my thunder. Anyways, what's up, guys? I'm Beau. Some of you may or may not have heard me as Winter for Ruby Abridged, and I am also Ilya Amatola for Ruby Abridged / KRWBY Productions.
Ooh, what else do you do, Beau?
Well, let's see. I am part of the admin team for the KRWBY Productions Discord server, and I'm also a writer and director for the VR shorts.
Yes. Well, Beau, I gotta let you know.
What?
There's somebody else in this call with us.
Wait, what? You didn't tell me about this.
There's a super special guest with us, and I wanted to keep it a secret, but I think they're gonna introduce themselves in a second.
Who could it be?
Who could it possibly?
I came.
Oh my gosh!
For the cookies.
It's Ruby.
No, hi. I'm Tina Mickel. I voice Ruby in Ruby Abridged, as well as now Emerald. Yay!
Whoa!
In the actual project, I have this role that's called producer, which essentially means I do a whole lot of everything. I try to help in all different departments, and I like playing with animations. That's where I want to end up living. But I still help with some of the 3D modeling stuff as well. The VR shorts. I'm kind of knees deep on a lot of parts of the project. So.
Yes, Tina does so much with the project, and that's why we are very excited to have her on with us today.
Absolutely.
So, guys, what is up, my dudes? What have you been doing? Were we at a con recently? I can't remember through all of the drunken mess.
Well, there's this place where the dragons fly and the peach butts live.
They call it
the Peach Butts, Georgia.
of course.
So yeah, Dragon Con was just this Labor Day weekend.
Hot
And
damn.
It was great.
I don't know if words can describe Dragon Con.
It's true. Well, but if you had a few words, maybe what would they be?
Surreal and unforgettable. Those would be my words. But Katy, I don't know. You got to meet one of your heroes this weekend, so
I did. So,
I think you should talk about that.
Ooh, so for everybody that doesn't know, we were at Dragon Con this year, and this year, I'm so nervous. I got to meet the voice of Weiss. It was really cool because all the Ruby girls were there, and we were very excited that they were there. And I got a little video with her that I might be posting on social media soon, just on Twitter and stuff. But Beau and Tina, you guys were there, and did you guys have any fun at the con? Any memorable things you'd like to talk about?
The whole thing. Beau, you can. I'll let you guys take the floor because I'm still on cloud 9 from the weekend, and I'll talk about it. But I just want to hear. I want to hear what you guys say. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, first and foremost, non-Ruby related, traditional KRWBY content. Got to meet Winona and Waverly and Nicole's actresses from Winona Earp, which is my favorite live-action television show. And I'm going to go ahead and plug this show because it was almost canceled, and it's such a great show for representation. They almost got canceled after the 3rd season when we were promised a 4th season. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out and you love Western supernatural monster hunting shows, it's on Netflix. Yeah. All 3 seasons are out there. Please check it out. 4th season's going to come out next summer. It's going to be awesome. The cast is completely wonderful. Got to meet Janet Varney, voice of Korra.
Yes.
Which was amazing because I love Korra so much. And then also outside of the main Ruby girls that were there, being Lindsay, Kara, Erin, Barb, Jen, and Sam, Jeremy Lee was also there, which I had met her several years back at Anime California, and I got a print from her, and I told her that I played Ilya, and she signed it as to my Ilya other half, which absolutely has killed me. And if you listen to this, Jeremy, I love you, and you're such a sweetheart.
She's
Like,
man,
That's amazing.
she was so nice, and honestly, like I felt a little awkward talking to her, and it was just because I never talked to her before. I used to back in the day. I was on this podcast called the Fairy Tale Podcast, and for those of you who are familiar with Jeremy, you're familiar that she's also Lucy in Fairy Tale. So the group that I was a part of actually interacted with her fairly regularly. If there were events, they'd interact, whatnot. They had a good working relationship. But I was always just not present when that happened. So, and I was also much younger at the time. So I was kind of like off in the corner, like, all right, I guess they're going to have fun without me. On the flip side, like Todd, I did get to know. I wish, man, he wasn't at DragonCon. That would have been cool if he was. Have Todd and Jeremy both there. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, so it was really cool because she remembered the podcast, even though it's been over for some time. And it was interesting because we talked about it a little bit. So, but yeah, she was so sweet. So, like, man, her, and I talked to Caitlin Glass a little as well, who, one of my favorite roles she did was Haruhi from Ouran High School Host Club.
Yes. That's like one of my favorite Caitlin.
Also,
She was
Winry from Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes, Winry is like
from, was it Brotherhood
girl.
or both?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm dumb.
She is Winry.
Oof.
The only voice
Winry
actor
was,
that I know.
Winry was like my first waifu, okay?
Yeah. Of the main cast, Alphonse was the only one that was really recast. Because
Okay.
Scar actually too, because I believe his voice actor passed away from the original series.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll have to look into that because I didn't know about that. But yeah, so like I knew of Caitlin Glass, and I know she voices in other things I enjoy as well. So I'm gonna go look them up later and feel really dumb that I didn't mention those things. But Janet
DragonCon is such a fun place, like, to meet people.
Yeah. Janet was another person, of course. I saw her too, but I've known her for a little while.
I was on the interview team this year, and so what we essentially do is I kind of get to proc the interviews that happen. So I don't really get a lot of time to just like chat with guests. I more am just like making sure that the reporters and the press that come in are not like overstaying their welcome, and that they're only asking questions that they've like approved, or that they stay within their time limit, and that our guests get back to their desk safely or to their table safely. And it's really fun because you get to kind of just see them in action and kind of see what they're about. And listening to guests talk, it's just so awesome because they always have interesting stories to tell if they're in the entertainment industry. And DragonCon had a lot of fun experiences with people, but one panel I wanted to talk about was the Puppet Slam.
Oh.
It is amazing, and if we could ever have puppet stuff in KRWBY, I would die.
I'll have to check it out. I think I saw you tweet about it or something, or you posted about it somewhere, and I was like, I'll have to check that out. But
it's very fun. But yeah, that was really cool that you guys got to meet like a lot of fun people. I got to meet a few people that I've been wanting to see for a while too. Got to go to a few parties because DragonCon is always full of parties. And I think I just had a really good time hanging out with you guys though. Like we streamed one day. We like just hung out in your room a lot, just shooting the shit, just having fun conversations. And honestly, that's kind of the best part of conventions, is seeing the people that live all over the world that you connect with.
I think the part that kind of sucked a little bit is that, me and Beau were pretty busy a lot of the weekend, but we did get to hang out. I think we've hung out more with you this convention than we have most any others, other than RTX, which was great.
Yeah, every day I was in your room.
Yeah, because it was nice having those chill moments. But it's still, like I said, there were some really memorable moments that were made. And I do want to, not to, obviously we do RWBY Abridged, and there were all these RWBY guests. We've had such great interactions with them over the weekend that I think that was something really memorable, worth mentioning, because we mentioned all these other actors, but we also did have some awesome interactions with those guys.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to go into the conversation of it, but Beau had a conversation with Lindsay, and I'm still shook over it, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I mean, can we kind of tell the audience, like, that you guys were helping a little bit this weekend?
I mean, yeah, I think that's fine. I was asked along to go and help out again. It's not the first time I've helped out with the RWBY girls at a convention, but, it's kind of... It's fun. It's a fun experience. And then Beau joined us for that. We had a couple other folks who are in the RWBY community who joined as well. I'm not going to put them out there if they don't want to be out there, but yeah.
Okay. You don't want to promote their product, or?
I'm not entirely sure, just because I'm not sure in what capacity they were there and like how.
Oh, okay. That's
publicly posted they were or anything. But,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we basically we were helping with like line management and stuff like that, which is something that, throwback to my Disney days is like war flashbacks, Kill Bill sirens going off as soon as I see the lines or see someone stepping out of line. But that was honestly really fun. I have to, because like Katy mentioned, she did go through the line to meet Kara. And immediately after that, we slid over to, Barb and Aaron, and Barb kind of got the reveal that we were doing this podcast. And I will never forget, like, the face and the chuckle she made when she heard the name Perpetually Ajar.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
She definitely
the most satisfying thing ever.
Yeah. She definitely put that seal of approval on there, which was pretty awesome. But, man, I think, okay, so one of the cool moments, I'll talk about it since we've established we were there doing work. At one point, I had to go up to the green room, and I was in the good old elevator getting ready to go up, and it's me and there's these 3 other voice actors. One of them was Jason Marsden, who's the voice of KRWBY and Haku from Spirited Away, all these other cool characters. Like, he's such a, like, he voiced Matt from Witch, and if you haven't realized Witch I'm Will is my handle and everything, Witch is a big part of my childhood. I didn't realize it at the time, and I feel really dumb, but I digress. The part that was really fun is when we walked in here to go into this elevator, there's like Lana Parrilla just hanging out, and we had this great conversation going up, and I was like, I don't know, that was just one of those little dumb but memorable moments for me, because I was like, man, it'd be cool to just meet her just once and be done with it. And we didn't exchange names. Well, I mean, obviously I knew who she was, but we had a great conversation going up, and then we went our ways, and that was it. So
for those who don't know, Lana Parrilla plays Regina / the Evil Queen from Once Upon a Time.
She was also with, and I can't remember her name, and I feel really, really bad because it's about when I dropped off, but Zelina, the person who plays Zelina from Once, the Wicked Witch. I can't remember her name, and I feel so bad, but she was with her as well, but she didn't say anything, so that's why I'm like, okay, well. It was such a memorable experience. So
for sure.
Dragon Con.
Dragon Con is like a really good con to go to, not just for like fun events, but also the guests that they bring each year are always better than the last. There's a place called the Walk of Fame, if you ever go to Dragon Con, where everybody's just kind of lined up. So if you're ever interested in kind of seeing a menagerie of guests, it's definitely a worthwhile experience coming to Dragon Con. But the entertainment is also just crazy. Like, the panels are so good if you're willing to wait in a little bit of a line. Like, another panel that I went to, I did not participate in, but it's called Dubbing Hentai. It's very silly and very fun, and the people that do participate just have so much fun. And I really like to see that, because it kind of banks on the fact that these people aren't voice actors. These are people that just kind of want to be silly and have fun and improv over this animation. And it's very fun because people are just very excited to be there. And that energy, you can't find it anywhere else, man. I really appreciated it.
It was something, I think it was Lindsay who said it, though. It's like Dragon Con, and don't hold me, this is one of the 4 girls. That Dragon Con is just this magical place where everyone just seems so interactive and so happy that you're there. Maybe it was actually Jen. I don't remember. But one of them said it, and I was like, that's kind of Dragon Con. Everyone just comes here. It's the Mardi Gras for nerds.
It's true.
And you just come in, you have fun, you watch panels. Sometimes you know what's going on, sometimes you don't. Most of it's pretty fun. Not a lot of it's super serious. Some of it is, like, you have the informational stuff. But it's all very entertaining in its own way. There's something for everyone. I don't ever do panels, but at Dragon Con, every once in a while I will, and it's a worthwhile experience. But the other thing, because this is also something that's mentioned in every single RWBY panel I've ever heard, is like, a really great thing to do at conventions is to just, rub elbows, not try to necessarily schmooze everyone over, but definitely network. You're surrounded by so many like-minded people. It's so easy to
a little.
Yeah, it's so easy to be like, hey, what's going on, make a friend, or hey, I do this, and find out so and so does that. Network, get involved, meet people. You never know what you're going to stumble across. So that's how a lot of us kind of met each other, not necessarily with conventions, but from just interacting with each other and go, oh, you do this? Oh, I do that. We could collab. Let's do something. Or, something down the line. Anyways, the whole point of it is Lindsay makes a big point of it every convention when people ask her is like, network, try to reach out to people, maybe not necessarily be jumping down their backs for a friendship, just it's the best opportunity for you to make a connection with someone.
Yeah, and one thing that I always say when it comes to networking is try to just go into any experience trying to have a positive one. Treat people like human beings and just try to have a positive interaction. Because you have your whole life to be friends with somebody, to interact with somebody. And if you keep putting in the work for whatever it is that you're doing, you will have more opportunities. That's just how it works. Yep. So you just have to keep doing the work, keep doing whatever you're doing, and be cool, be not a dick. And treat people nicely like human beings. And whenever you run into them in the wild, you never know who you're talking to. Like, if you're the type of person that is mean to a waitress, you don't know who that waitress is. You don't know who they knows.
You don't know who she's going to be, too.
Yeah, for sure. Not that that should be the only motivation for being kind, but, like, it is something to think about because you also never know what they're going through. You don't know what kind of day that they're having. There's so many things that you don't know, and it's free to be nice to people.
Going off of that, this is completely unrelated, but this is a podcast where we talk about stuff, and this is going to be another one of those stories. I feel like, Katie, I'm pretty sure Tina's heard this story before, but Katie, I know for a fact I haven't told you this story, so I'm going to share it real quick.
Stories.
Is my first summer that I was working at Disneyland, I was working Phantasmic, and we were doing the clear out to get the viewing areas set up and whatnot for the show, which meant that we had to kind of clear everyone out that had been camped out, which originally you could just camp out all day and reserve a spot and then that would be your spot for the show. But then when they rolled out fast passes, you had to wait until it was time to go in and then grab your spot. And so in order to get those viewing areas set up, we had to go in and be like, hey, unfortunately, this is becoming a viewing area for Phantasmic. We're going to have to ask you to clear the area. If you have a fast pass, here's where you can line up, and then you can work your way in once we reopen the area. And there was this woman who was on an electric wheelchair, and she was right in the middle of where we needed to clear it out. And one thing that they taught us at Disney is never tell people where they can't go or tell them where they can't be. Tell them where they can go. Because if you go up to someone and say, hey, you can't be here, it's a negative interaction. But you could go up and say, hey, just letting you know, the viewing area is going to be a little bit further down, or we have plenty of seating available a little bit further down the walkway, or whatever have you. Just something more positive than just, hey, you can't be here.
Yes.
And so anyways, I went up to her and I was trying to explain to her what it is that we were setting up, and she was honestly, quite frankly, not having any of it. She was just she was really set in, I've been here for the last hour. Why hasn't anyone told me I couldn't move yet? And given I was doing kind of the pre-spiel of hey, in half an hour, we're going to need this area cleared kind of thing. It wasn't even hey, you need to go now. But she was obviously very frustrated with the situation. And so I managed to convince her to kind of step off to the side so we were up kind of against the wall and out of the middle of the walkway, so I could kind of try to talk her down from being as upset as she was. I definitely understood her frustration. It was really hot that day. It was very busy.
Yeah.
And so after a few minutes of talking, she managed to calm down, and we actually started on the conversation of the fact that it was my first summer there. And she had asked me oh, well, how do you work for Disney? It was always one of my dreams to work at Disneyland and whatnot. And I was just wondering, how did you go about doing it? And I told her, well, I actually just straight up walked into the Disney offices, that big green building off of the 5 freeway, and was like, hey, give me a job. And they, told me how to fill out an application. And then a few months later, I got the call saying that I had had an interview. And after a few minutes, I gave her that information, gave her the, it's a public site that you can go to apply. So I gave her the address to it's called Team Disney Anaheim, in case anyone is curious. And kind of sent her along her way. But not before I found out that her dream spot in the park was that she had always wanted to be able to drive the little buggies up and down Main Street, like the little cars that go up and down Main Street. Aww. And so, you know, she went along her way, and I didn't see her the rest of the night. But you know, it ended up being I was able to turn a really negative interaction into a positive one. Fast forward about 2 years later, I'm working Phantasmic still. I'm now a supervisor essentially for it. I'm helping you know, train people when they get there, and you know, assigning people their roles. And I go into the break room, and I look up, and I make eye contact with this woman who is walking with a cane, but walking a lot better than how I previously remembered. And she looks at me, and we just have this moment, and she goes, "Oh my God, it's you." And I look at her, and I realize that this is the woman that I had told, you know, about how to get a job at Disneyland 2 years beforehand. And she immediately just kind of goes, can I talk to you for a second? And we just sit down, and she's like, I just finished my training. I just got signed off on driving the cars up and down Main Street. And I would never have been able to get to my dream job if it hadn't been for you.
You never told me this story. It's so gay.
That's so beautiful.
It was literally like, it was such a like, it took 2 years to see the, you know, final outcome of it, but damn, was it worth it. And so that kind of, you know, as you can see, it you know, you never know who you're talking to, and you never know like who they're going to be, because like I could have, you know, I was having not the best day. It was hot. I had already been there for 6 hours. I was tired, and I could have just gone up to her and been really, really insistent. And I could have technically, with how she was kind of talking to me initially, I could have called security and had them deal with it. But I took the time. I took the extra couple minutes to kind of be calm, take a step back, look at the situation, and explain it to her.
To de-escalate.
Yeah, de-escalate. And, you know, as far as I know, she's still working there, happy as a clam.
Man, that's awesome. And that's totally relative to even how this weekend was for us, because a year and a half ago, I had watched RWBY for the first time, roughly.
Yeah.
I fell in love with it so quick. After watching it, like 2 months in, I got cast on this project. And then I'm so deep. I'm like over my head in RWBY, and I'm so happy about it. And then if you told me even then, like, oh, a year from now, you're going to get to spend a weekend helping them out or doing whatever, I would have looked at you and said, ha, that's funny. And that's happened twice now. So I'm just, even the first time it happened, you know, Beau can tell you, I was so buzzing from that. Like, oh my gosh, it feels too unreal. But something that felt impossible was totally possible because of someone else, and you never know. It took that one person to make that happen for me, and it honestly, like, it was awesome. So, and I'm glad to have those chances, and I hope that, you know, we can do that. I hope we can do that for other people, because I'm the type of person, if somebody tells me, oh, like, I've called you a couple times, Katy, it's like, oh man, I would die to meet so and so or whatever. I'm like, oh, I have a chance to make some magic happen here.
Yeah.
That's entirely how I operate. Or, you know, Beau, you with Janet, I was like, well, come on, let's go down and talk to her. Like,
yeah, you know, I mean, I've cosplayed Korra, so like, Korra's easily my favorite cartoon out there.
For sure. And also, one thing that we should do, Beau, is you have like that stream of us talking at Dragon Con somewhere probably. We should post that somewhere, because there's like an hour to 2 hour conversation of me, Tina, and Beau just getting really deep. It's kind of like,
I'll download it and at least save it, so that way we can do something with it. That was a really good conversation.
All right, we've spent some time talking about Dragon Con. It was
true.
It was amazing.
I think I'd actually like to take us to our Weiss Breakers in a sec.
Yeah, really quick though. I did want to throw in, and I mentioned this before we got started, but
yes.
I know I've kind of said it in the project if people aren't familiar with it, but I am no longer the VR Shorts director. That was the thing. I stepped down. Beau is going to be taking up that mantle, working inside with like Zaz and Steven to pull that train forward. Because I'm gonna be going to animation school, so I've been accepted. I have to finish my financial aid stuff, and hopefully that all pans out. But I've been working with like a lot of advanced rigs, so those of you who have like watched my streams, you'll know some of the stuff I've been working on and 3D modeling. But yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there because I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait.
Press F in the comments to pay respects to congratulate Tina. She's going to school.
I'm gonna go back to school.
To doubt.
Oh my
Tina's
gosh!
gonna get smart.
Why?
It's gonna be awesome.
You just really made me super flustered of being like, oh yeah, so I'm stepping down and Beau's stepping up, and I'm just like,
X to doubt, F's in chat because I'm gonna die.
Everyone clap in the comments. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is actually, and I don't talk about it often. I was an early grad from high school. I was going to Emory, or going to go to Emory. I was accepted for med school. And the college I was doing my prereqs at messed up my paperwork, not once but twice, so I lost my full scholarship, and so I decided to drop out. Instead of going $500,000 in debt with medical school, I was like, okay, that's it, and I dropped out. So, and then that's where my schooling went, because I was very much an academic kid.
Look at all these chickens with their going to college and whatnot, and I know that we have a lot of young viewers, and I am not in any way advocating this, but something that I'm not sure you know, Katy, is I actually I dropped out of high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I never finished high school, which take it from me, guys. It's not as cool as it seems. Please, please, please finish high school. At the very least, finish high school, because you have no idea how detrimental it's going to be to finding a job that will take you seriously if you do not have a high school diploma.
No matter how smart you are, which is really sad.
How smart you are.
And also, fuck the stigma about community colleges. I spent 3 to 4 years at a community college before I went to my 4-year, because I was able to get a scholarship at a community college, and community colleges are amazing. If you have a college near you and you can stay home for a little bit, if college is something you even want to do, or if you want to do trade school, or if you just want your GED or your high school degree and you just want to get experience, these are all valid. But just if somebody tells you have to go hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt to be taken seriously, that's not true. There are options out there for you.
Yep.
But definitely finish high school if possible.
Please do. I will be very disappointed in you if you do not.
And I also want to say that you don't have to have a college degree, and I'm not advocating not going to school. You don't have to have a college degree to get somewhere, but even a GED is at least critical to functioning. High school diploma is better, honestly, but having something is better than nothing. Education is important, but it's not necessary for success. So, in some fields. Some fields it is. If you want to go be a doctor, well, sorry, you got to go to college. That's not up for me. If you want to be a brain surgeon, sorry, dude. You're going to have to go for God knows how many years, then come back and talk to us. Because if you're playing with my noodle in my head, you better have your wires straight.
Real quick, I have a recommendation for a type of degree you should go for if you want something that's all-encompassing that can be used in anything. And it's one of the less expensive degrees to go for. Communications. All 100% of students that graduate with a communication degree will use that degree in anything that they do. And it's kind of more of a liberal arts type of school that you'll find it at. And most of obviously college is still expensive. And again, if you don't want to do college, you don't have to. But if you're wanting a degree and you want to further yourself, whether it's as an actor or as somebody just going into life, communications. Whether that's interpersonal, broadcast journalism, multimedia, anything that teaches you how to be closer to people or how to talk to people is awesome. That I just recommend it, because communications degrees also get a little bit scoffed at sometimes, because it's oh, I already know how to talk to people. Yeah, but why not get better? People are important.
Yeah. I just want to point out, just because you're good at something doesn't mean you can't do better. If you hit a point in your life where you're there's no way I can be better at this, that is I feel the telltale sign you're not there and you need to go back and learn more.
Yeah.
If you have that mentality, then you need to just stop. You need to just pump the brakes and go, okay, I'm missing something here. And maybe it's not even that there's something to learn on the outside. Maybe it's something you need to learn within yourself. Okay.
And especially if you want to be a performer, because I do want to get to the Weiss Breakers. And sorry we keep going back and forth one more thing. But I heard something recently that I actually had no idea. If you go to college for a theater degree or for a performance degree, apparently that doesn't really help when you're auditioning for stuff. I was speaking to someone recently that was talking about how when people look at a theater degree, they're more or less just not as impressed by it as if you have, like, I guess, a quote-unquote real degree. Not saying that it's not valid, but apparently that's kind of a stigma that does exist in the workplace, even in the entertainment industry, which I thought was weird because that sounds wrong.
I wonder if it's because, like, anyone can go to school and get a degree. That doesn't necessarily mean you have experience. It just means you went and you took classes. Cool. Like, you've learned.
You got the book smarts, but you need the street smarts.
Yeah, because as a performer, I think it's almost better to do individual classes with people actively working in the industry. Like, instead of just getting a degree from somebody that lives in New Jersey that hasn't ever been to Hollywood, like, or whatever type of acting you're trying to do. Like, working with people, if you want to be an actor, that are consistently working in the industry with voice acting or soap operas or theater. Like, those are the people you're going to learn the most from, and those are the names that if you put them on a resume as, like, a reference, that are going to get you work.
Yeah. Absolutely. I feel like experience in the acting industry is a big thing.
Yeah.
The more, like, you could have whatever degree, whatever classes, and sure, the classes affect, like, classes aren't the same as a degree, and it's something that was also pointed out at DragonCon, that was said in the panel. But you know, you might take a class for whatever acting company, and that might have more credibility than maybe it sounds like a theater degree. Theater degree, it sounds like they're like bottom rung, which is sad because, again, you still have to learn something.
It was just interesting to hear that.
Yeah. Anyways, I could talk about it all day, so I'm not going to dive in.
Yeah, for sure. We can make a whole other podcast about degree stuff, but we hope we taught you something there.
I think
did you have something you wanted to say, Beau?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to toss out there that, you know, we have a lot of our, like, social media, and how you can reach us is if any of these topics are something that we're talking about is something that you would like to know more about, or at least know like where to kind of go look for the information that we got. I would say feel free to either comment on the video or message us on any of our social medias, and we'd be happy to share what we have with you.
We will read through all of the comments.
Yeah,
if you have anything to say or ask.
Of course, I'm going to go ahead and plug it, though, really quick. The Discord server is going to be down below. Join that. You guys are more than welcome to hit me up anytime. I am Ruby in the server. What a surprise. My inbox is always open. So if there's anything I can help with, like, I'll do my best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think it's about time we get into our Weiss Breakers. I feel like we're pretty broken
30
in
minutes
already,
in.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Screw it. We're going to have fun. So, for anyone that's new to this podcast, our Weiss Breakers is the section where we ask icebreakers, but we came up with Weiss Breakers because Beau is a genius. And we're going to ask some would you rather questions and just kind of have fun with it, because this podcast's goal is to not only be a parody of Always Open, where we're going to talk about anything we want to, but we're also just trying to get to know the crew members, and we just want to have some silly fun times because we have all of our lives to be serious. Let's have fun.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Are you ready, Ruby? I don't think you're ready.
You're not ready. I'm gonna win, and you're gonna lose.
They're called Weiss Breakers, and second, you can't win. They're not Ruby Breakers.
We're breaking Weiss.
Wow, Winter, don't let her talk to me like that.
I have no interest in this conversation right now.
Wow!
I can't believe Weiss is gonna die.
I can't believe it's not butter. Anyway, would you rather? We never stop doing this, audience.
Oh my god.
One day we're just gonna have to do an episode where we have like 6 characters on the podcast just screaming.
Katie, I'd like to apologize. I definitely just accidentally kicked my mic stand, so there's like a.
Oh no, it'll be okay. So everybody that just heard the ba-dump, that's why.
Yep, that was me.
So, first Weiss Breaker. Would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into your own future or 10 minutes into the future of anyone but yourself?
I feel like. See, I would say that, but if I could see into the future for everyone else, I feel like I'd be able to then, like, if I could see 10 minutes into Beau's future and Beau's with me, I'm gonna know my future. So why have just one when you can have all? But at the same time, then I feel like that's too much power, and then Beau would be like, "Yo, Tina, what's gonna happen?
That makes
do I do this? Should I talk to them?"
Whenever I see those posts and it's like, "Would you shoot your friend in the foot for $1 million?" I'm like, I know you and me, we'd be like, "Man, let's shoot each other in the foot, and then we'll have $2 million."
$2 million.
Yeah. So I would say I thought about this because since you posted them earlier, I try to like really, really dig deep. But
Yeah.
I would say everyone else, because then it kind of helps me I'd have to be selfless, or I'd just have to keep someone glued to me, because then if I really wanted to know, they'd be right there. And be like, hey, just don't turn away. Just keep looking in this general direction.
I would also say I want someone else's future, but not because I want the power over them, but because I don't want to have the responsibility and power of seeing my own future, because I know I would get a little obsessive and I would keep looking to like, I would get very anxious and I would be like, oh, am I going to be okay? Am I going to be okay? Versus I need something that won't let me access my future. If I can see other people's future, I might get disinterested. I don't really care about other people. It's human nature to care about yourself more. So there might be times where I use it when I'm curious, but I know I wouldn't obsess as much over other people's future as I would mine. And so I would mostly use it for emergency. I would have more restraint, I guess, if it's someone else's. Because of course I'm going to use it, and we're human, so of course we're going to abuse power. But I know that it would ruin my life more if I could see mine. But I could use the other one to help others potentially.
Like one sentence horror story. You're in an airplane and suddenly everyone's future around you ends in 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
Terrifying.
Like, I am already a walking ball of social awkwardness and anxiety, especially in, like, can you imagine me just over the weekend, just like, okay, 10 minutes, okay, let me look and see. Nope, okay, cool, all right, turning around, walking away. Literally, that would, I'm like, you can ask Beau. I mean, well, Katy, you know, we talked about it. I'm a big old ball of anxiety. So if I had that power over myself, I would never get anything done, because I'd always be like,
exactly.
Like, I need to look, and it's literally like nothing's happened, because it's just me sitting there, like peering into my own future.
I would want to see my own future. I'm gonna be the oddball here.
Oh, okay.
I would want to be able to see
one.
my own future, because I don't know. It's just I don't know. So, see, I'm the kind of person where I'm like, okay, what are the stipulations of this? Is it someone who's near you, or is it could like, if I have the ability to see anyone else, could I just be like, I'm gonna look into Tina's future, despite the fact that we're across the country?
You can control it, but you do have to be within a 10-foot radius of the person.
Nah, I'm still gonna go with seeing my own future.
Okay.
I like being able to know that I've always had this really weird like sense of whenever something like is supposed, like my instincts have always been like pretty good, and like I don't want to like talk too long on it, but remind me to tell you my like instinct story after we're done here, because like, I had a really cool experience with me just being like, no, you know what, I think we should just wait, and then something really good happened.
Can I tell you really quick from the weekend, talking about instincts? I walked behind a bunch of Spartans, and I did like a Matrix move to not get whacked in the face by a spear.
Yes, you told us that story.
Yeah, there's my instincts, okay? So if I knew, you know, to be honest, walking up, I was like, he's got his staff up. I bet you as soon as I walk behind, he's gonna, sure enough, as soon as I walked behind him, he lowered that staff, and I was like, mother.
You were like,
I saw my life flash before my eyes. It was really boring.
Well, okay. I think we all have our answers for this one, so comment below if you would like to tell us which one you would choose.
Also, let me know if you understood that reference I just did.
Yes, let us know that as well, because I totally went over my head, just like that spear. So our second Weiss Breaker is, would you rather see what was behind every closed door, or be able to guess the combination to every safe on the first try?
Ooh.
Okay. So here's the thing about that one. I watched a video, and it kind of goes back into, like, most people will not question why you're somewhere if you act like you own the place. And there was this video where it was, like, how to get into anywhere with a ladder. And it was basically these two guys walking around carrying a ladder, and they were, like, walking into movie theaters, walking into museums, because people just assumed they were there to fix something.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like, if I could walk into a bank vault and get that far and then open the safe on the first try, obviously I'm supposed to be there, right?
There's too many checkpoints. Like, there's too many people that would be like, ma'am, Sir?
No. Don't question it. I'm talking like I'm not talking like Fort Knox, Katie. I'm talking like
like let's say any run-of-the-mill bank, you have what, 2 or 3 areas that you have to pass. You have the first door, that's usually a combination door, or it's got like the keypad door. Then you have the second area, which is usually another keypad door. Then you have the actual vault.
This in combination with the first episode when we have the key that can open any door.
Ooh, yeah. Well, you see, this is just a safe, but the other option is you can see what is behind every closed door. You can't get back there, but you know what's there.
I mean, I would assume if it's a safe, there was money.
So I would say, I thought about, again, because at first I was like, I wanted to say safe. Because, cool, you can open any safe, which means all those really protected things you could easily get to, which usually are, money, guns, things of value. If it was the end of the world, that'd be a really helpful thing,
if you accidentally lock your keys in something, you can open it,
So, but then I thought about it. I think it'd be more useful to know what's on the other side of a door, because it's not always about what you can get, but also kind of knowing what's on the other side. So, hey, maybe I don't want to open that door. So, sure, I might not be able to open that safe on the first try.
There's a fucking tiger right there.
Yeah. I might not be able to open that safe on the first try, but that safe still has a door, which means I can see on the other side of it. And, hey, maybe there's nothing in there. Maybe there's a whole bunch of money. And guess what? If my good old buddy Beau, like I know they are, is going to go for that safe one, we're a duo set to win this.
We're going to be Oceans 2.
This is gonna be Oceans 3. We gotta have Katy just for the swag level.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just show up with all of our sunglasses and snacks because I'm gonna be the cool mom,
the designated snack person.
Yes, I think I would go with the door, but mostly because I want to see if I can make money and like do like a trick where I'll like set up a door and people can put like anything behind it, and I'll be like, I know what it is.
I think
you're holding
my
up 5
favorite
fingers.
thing would be to troll people with that. And
exactly.
Be like, step right up. I can tell you what's behind any door. Let's walk over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a whole pile of nothing. Pay up. Well, why don't you prove it? Listen, I didn't say I could open the door. Just that I could see what was there.
Oh, yes. Man. I'll just carry a door everywhere with me so I can do like magic tricks on the side of the road like a street performer. Like, hey guys, if you put anything behind this door, blindfold me. I know it's behind it.
That's true.
Okay, so like going back to the, walking in and, saying, oh, if you're meant to be there, no one will question it sort of thing. Can you imagine though, like say you're trying to get into a bank, right? Or like you may look like you're supposed to be there, but you can't open it. You don't have the ability to open anything. But knowing what's on the other side to be like, okay, no, I need to not. Or, oh, I need to wait. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Because you know if there's guards.
The long con and get a job at the bank so you're allowed to be there.
Now, Beau, you're talking about like mainstream villain.
Beau's got this planned out.
Beau is ready.
Are you laughing? Was that an evil laugh? That was almost like.
Oh my god.
That's my evil chuckle. I'm like looking at my audio.
I love your evil
just
chuckle.
This very even like of my laugh.
Man, I think it was Astral said I had like 2.5 minutes of like this laughing as Ruby, and I don't remember if he said it was evil or not, but he was concerned for my mental health after that recording that he heard, because it was again 2.5 minutes of me just evil laughing as Ruby or laughing as Ruby.
Yes.
Anyways.
Well, do we have our final answers in? I choose door.
Every safe.
Door.
The combination.
Beau is the odd one out again. Man. All right,
Oh.
this next one of us is going to have to be the odd one. So let us know in the comments below what you would choose. And if you think that our answers are correct, who's the best? Who's got the best answers?
Me, obviously.
Anyway. Wow. You're not. Yeah, that's true, actually. You're probably right.
Me and Katy are on the same wavelength here. Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
We got that white
We're just
rose
trying to
going.
troll people.
I'm in such a good place mentally right now. Like, these two people are two of my favorite people in the whole wide world. I'm just having a blast right now.
You're
die.
You're sandwiched in the middle of us, but you're disappointedly like pointing at me. It's just like you're judging me, and I feel it, but I'm like, look at that noseless love right there.
Oh. So our final Weiss Breaker. We're gonna go hard or go home.
There's an airplane. There's a really loud airplane flying over me right now.
Also, this might relate to your Ilia love, Beau.
Yes, I was looking
Would
at
you
that.
rather have skin that changes color based on your emotions, or tattoos that appear all over your body depicting what you did yesterday?
I'm gonna just be
Obviously
straight out.
Skin that changes color.
Yeah, I'm gonna be straight out. Skin that changes color, because I'd rather wear my emotions plain on my face than what I did, because that can say a lot of things, and I don't want people to know all my business.
We don't want no tattoo saying whose dick you sucked last night, Tina.
Shoot.
But wouldn't that be great, though?
Listen.
It's
Katie's
just a
gonna have some
microphone and a dick.
splaining to do, okay? Katie's gonna have puppets and hentai all over her, so.
It's true. Oh God, I would be a walking Ahegao shirt.
No.
Oh my God.
It would be terrible.
I genuinely, like, just a real talk for a second. Like, if I'm close, I obviously have no problem talking about things, but I'm a really private person. I don't like talking about personal stuff too much. I might be like, oh yeah, I'm having a bad day, or I'm stressed, or whatever, but I won't like usually give too much of detail. So having people know what I did in detail, I'm like, if I want to tell you, I'll tell you. If I don't want to tell you, I'm not going to tell you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm very private, so that was just like an instant, like, easy decision.
Yeah, I would also go with the colors, just because, you know, I don't want to be kind of vulgar. Like, if I'm walking past an elementary school, I don't want those children to see dicks all over me.
Katy,
I don't want them.
What is it
to
you're
be in
gonna
that
be
universe.
doing? What are you trying to tell us? You getting a lot of that dick?
You know, man,
need to know this
listen, me
about
and
my
Zach have been
sister.
together for
Thank
3
you.
years, and I love him very much.
Oh my God.
Also, at the puppet slam, I saw a lot of puppet dicks. It was hilarious.
Wow, are the people actually puppet dicks? Really?
Yes. Oh my God, there was an act. Okay, real quick, we're going on this tangent. You're with me now.
Oh, no.
There was a puppeteer that had a straight up strap-on puppet dick.
That's amazing.
That was like, that had a face. It was the size of a leg.
My God.
Welcome to Perpetually Ajar. I was literally the same.
I want you to know. You said, all right, you're going with me on this journey. I took a sip of my water. You said strap on dick, and I'm.
It was hilarious. And he had it singing like a ladies' man or something. Like, he had the puppet strapped to his groin, singing a song, walking through the audience, making this puppet slither like a snake. And it's the size of a leg. It was huge. It was hilarious. You should have been there. If I could find a video of the puppet slam, I will show you.
Oh my God.
And that is why you should all go to the Dragon Con Puppet Slam.
I want off of this train.
We're gonna leave the
I'm
train
like that
now.
person that accidentally fell asleep and missed their station 2 stops back. I don't know where I am. I don't know how I got here.
Yeah,
we're going back to our color-coded
going
questions.
right back on it. I might make the dick jokes from time to time, but I'm like so PG. Like, a Disney movie has more adultness to it than me. Sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm vulgar. Like, I swear a lot, but I'm like a
yeah.
little baa-boo. You talk about like dicks, and I'm like,
whenever I listen to Always Open, they're so vulgar, and it makes me very happy.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with being vulgar, but like, I am.
Oh yeah.
I'm
it's
like
funny because the first time I heard the word cuck was from you, Tina.
You know, it's funny.
Oh wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're going. Okay, another tangent. I used to work this one job. I'm not gonna say where it was, but one of my roommates worked there with me before she moved in with me, and I'm again to talk about how I don't want to say naive I am, because I'm not naive. I just don't know a lot of things. Okay, like, I'm gonna be real. I'm
Totally not the
a
definition
sexual
of
person.
naive.
So. Anyways, we're in work doing our thing, and I started going boo cocky.
Oh my God!
So I said it so much. My roommate now, is like, Tina, do you know what bukkake is? And I said, yeah, it's fertilized duck egg. She said, no, that's balut. I was like, oh. She said, bukkake's fertilized face. And I was like, and so she wouldn't let that die for a long time. It was hysterical. And they still make fun of me for it. And I haven't worked there in over 4 years.
Oh my god!
So,
I literally heard this story for my first time like a few days
That makes
ago
me
out
so
there.
happy.
You never
So
heard it
what-
the first time you were out here?
So what color would you all be right now if your emotions changed?
Whatever corresponds to being really hot, because I have to have my
You are
fan
really hot, Beau.
and my AC off to record. So it's like 85 degrees in my apartment right now.
I'm okay. I'm happy. So whatever happy would be. Like
Yeah.
I'm genuinely having a lot of
Happy,
fun. Pink
but
to me
warm.
feels like blushy. Yeah, like kind
Oh,
of.
okay, that's true. Maybe like an orange.
I think like yellowy. I don't know. Sun, happiness.
Okay. Yeah. I'm feeling that too. So yeah,
Like
I think I would
heat,
go with
warm.
color change. Wow. So oh my god. Dang it, Tina.
Oh, come on, man. Peeing your pants is a lot like happiness.
You know, you're not wrong, and that is the quote of the day. That is the quote of the day, and I'm just gonna jot that one down. That's the name of the episode. Peeing your pants is a lot like happiness. No, that's too long.
I mean,
peeing
I
your
would
pants,
say
that's the name of the
bukkake,
episode.
but- No.
Can we just have the title be fertilized face?
No.
Oh my god, I love it.
That's too.
It's either peeing your pants or fertilized face.
No. No.
Welcome to how we name Perpetually Ajar.
That's beautiful. That's my
Jesus
god.
Christ.
Now you guys know. Okay, so like again, I am like, yeah, I'm not sexual in the slightest. I'm like
She is
asexual
small
as the day
baby.
is long.
That was
And it's not that I'm a small babu. I'm not. I'm like all about work. I'm so attuned.
No, that's
to
fair.
I couldn't believe
That's fair.
that there was an actual dessert brand called Cream Pies. Like the first time I went out to Atlanta,
I am pink now.
Tina-
My emotions are changing.
Tina was all like, "Oh yeah, let's get a box of cream pies," and I'm like, looks at her, "A box of what?" And they're actually called cream pies. Like,
Which came first, do you think?
Well,
I don't
somebody
wanna
had to
talk about
admit
that,
one.
Katy. Anyways, we have fan questions that we got to get to.
Anyway, all right, guys. So we all agreed on that question, and the two before, Beau was the odd one out. There's no prize for that, but congratulations, Beau, you win.
Cool.
So let's go to our first fan question. Which domain would you want to rule over? The earth, the sky, or the sea? And this is from Conrad Paulo.
The
Conrad's
sky.
my boy. You know who you are.
Ooh.
Conrad is my dude.
Yeah.
So
Conrad
do you
Dope.
gain like an ability? Like if you're the sea, can you breathe underwater now?
Ooh.
I mean, typically,
If you're
if
the
you're
sky,
like
can you
ruling over
fly?
a domain, it means that you're like proficient in like maneuvering
Yeah.
in that type of terrain, and
This is true.
it's like your favored terrain. I'm going into like
Yeah.
D&D terminology here. I would say the
I do
sea
love the
because
ground.
I've always
It's
been
always
really
kept me
terrified
safe.
of the sea, and so I'd like to be
Yeah.
comfortable with it.
Oh yeah, like you would rule it. Any fear that you had before, it can fuck right off because you're the master of your fate now.
Yeah.
I propose a new name for the episode. It can fuck right off.
I don't know if we want to have the F-y word in our title.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Okay.
is okay.
No, not bukage. It's fertilized face. Okay, it's politically correct.
I would still say the sky because honestly, like one of those, it's like, oh, if you could have anything or if you could have any superpower, what would it be? It usually is like flying for me. I don't know why. That's always been like a fascination.
Yeah,
But then I could just fly anywhere I want and just be done with it.
that is true. I like the idea of the sky for that purpose, but I also like the idea of I'm already chilling on the earth. Like, so do I just get all the cool earth abilities?
You just grow
of, like,
plants.
grass
You just go.
and- yeah, dude, that'd be freaking awesome.
Me, I just ride
'cause,
around
like,
on a
the
cloud
sea-
like some Dragon Ball Z bullshit.
The sea, you only get access to like the salty sea. You don't get like the lakes or the rivers, and like I kind of want all water if I'm going that because I don't really like the sea very much. But I like.
Beau has the salt of the sea. I feel like there's a statement being made here.
I just thought of a vine. Okay, earlier we were talking about the Steven Universe movie, and there's a
Yes.
vine out there that is of
Spinel?
lapis, and it's
Lapis,
set
yeah.
to the intro of Last Airbender, and it's like water, fire, earth, and then it's just her going, Bob.
That's
and
amazing.
I don't know why, but I just thought of that and just immediately just laughed.
I think I would go with Earth just because sky, there's not a lot in the sky. Yeah, you can fly now, but like I feel like it would get kind of boring. The Earth, I have so much power. Earthbenders are pretty OP.
Oh, now we're going
right.
into bending. Okay.
Well,
okay.
okay, well, I
I'm
guess
gonna be
we
the
don't have
avatar.
to.
Okay. I am Ruby and Ruby.
Realistically, guys, we've only explored like 30% of the Earth's oceans. Like
That's true. If you have the sea, you might have some really cool monsters.
There's a movie from the late 80s, early 90s, I think, called The Abyss. If any of you have seen that movie is really, really good. And it's about these they're deep sea oil drillers, and they live like 8 months out of the year, like deep underwater. And they end up getting sent on this mission because they're the only ones that know how to deep sea dive that deep, because there was a submarine that was sank, and they need to retrieve this nuclear bomb so it doesn't accidentally like go off down and like collapse part of the ocean. And so they dive down into this deep drop off, and they end up discovering that there's like a whole alien life force like living down there.
Honestly, yeah, if you want some extraterrestrial like weird power shit, the sea would be good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
sea.
I feel like you definitely have a lot that you can explore and whatnot, so it'd be probably the most vast. But technically,
and you rule it too.
Where does the sky end? Because technically everything above the Earth is considered the sky. So is that space as well? I'm just saying.
I think it would just be the Earth's atmosphere of the sky.
So I'd have like 5 miles.
So the Earth's sea
of height.
Yeah.
And all
So
around.
anywhere in the Earth's atmosphere in the air is yours.
You could
but if it
probably
touches
fly.
the ground or the water.
That's
Yeah,
I'm gonna
easily
stick with
you could
flying.
fly.
I still want to fly. So
So we all have a different answer. I'm going
yeah.
Earth.
That works. See, look, together
all of
we can
us.
all come together and we will become.
Yes.
We need to be careful though, because the Fire Nation may attack us.
Shit, you're right. I didn't even think of the Fire Nation.
And then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
It's all
The
going
Fire
to go
Nation
downhill.
can fuck right off.
Who on the team do you think would be the Fire Nation? Like,
Wow, you're
you
like
think of
trying to
someone?
start a war.
no,
we
because
just-
we've chosen our element. Who do you think would pick fire?
I don't know.
Because fire can be a fun element.
It can be both life-bringing and destructive.
It's true.
There is a balance.
Need someone passionate. Do we
I
have someone
honestly
that's like a
honestly
fireball?
would like being a firebender. Like talking about bending, not even like, the minions.
Yeah.
I'm like, man. I just want to be the avatar so I can shoot lightning at people. Okay,
It's true.
I would want to be specifically a metal bender. I've always thought.
Ooh, join the Earth Kingdom,
yeah.
baby.
Yeah, I've always thought the metal benders were like the
just-
coolest thing ever.
You gonna be Kuvira.
Listen, Kuvira was I cosplayed Kuvira before I cosplayed Korra. So
Ooh, Kuvira is good.
shout out to
Isn't
Zelda
she
Williams.
voiced by? Yeah, I was about to say Zelda Williams.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude.
she's so good. I love her.
Yes, queen.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we've got our domains. We are ruling them efficiently. Wow, I can't even speak words.
Efficiency?
I'm supposed to be a ruler of Earth, and I can't speak the word thing. Anyway, we're about to go to our second fan question. How are you guys feeling?
I'm
I'm-
still very
man,
warm.
very warm. I'm good. I'm like,
drinking
yes.
Mountain Dew Code Red over here right now.
I'm sorry. What? Did you have anything else over there? Do I need to call an adult? Are you allowed to
I
have
am
that
an
beverage?
adult.
I am legally
You guys had
allowed
so
to
many
have this
beverages at
beverage.
Dragon Con.
I am
So many beverages.
Beau
What
may
was
or
your
may
favorite
not.
beverage that you had over the weekend?
Ooh.
fucking
I
me and Star wheezing over after having like 2 glasses of Mountain Dew Code Red and Malibu coconut rum because we were losing our goddamn minds over the color of this bag of Lien from Volume 6 of RWBY.
I didn't drink much over the weekend other than like I had rosé, which I never had. I never really tried wines before. Tried rosé.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I hated it, but it wasn't my like. I wouldn't drink it if I had a choice of drinking that and like a berry Fanta with like vodka or something.
Well, I don't want to be crazy, but I had some diet cheer wine, so it was kind of lit.
Litty titty.
Wasn't that in our room too?
It was. I feel bad. I drank on camera for the stream. I had a lot of diet cheer wine. It was a real problem.
Is
I have a
it
problem.
chair or share?
Oh, it's cheerwine.
Okay. I don't know. I don't drink it, so.
Yeah,
don't
cheerwine
even
is
know what
actually
it
really
is.
good. It's delicious. It's kind of like a Dr. Pepper of the Carolinas, except way cherrier.
Well, I don't like
real
cherry,
good.
so
Wow. Then you don't get any.
it's okay.
Fine.
I like Dr. Pepper.
This is true.
I hate both of them.
Well,
Wow. Well, on that sad note, actually, this is a perfect segue into this question. If you could split humanity into two groups and one will randomly die, how do you split humanity? This is from Eon Kassar.
I would
And
split people.
it's going to be cheerwine lovers and non-cheerwine lovers.
Okay, again, I thought about this because I couldn't ever live with myself if I ever killed off anyone or was the cause of a certain section of humanity dying. So I would say that I would want people to, I would split humanity into groups of those born with a purpose and a destiny, predetermined, and then people who aren't, because I don't think anyone's born with a destiny or a purpose. You're just here. So in my mind, people would be split not at all. And so it's either we all live together or we all die together.
Or how about people that pee in the shower and people that lie?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about this question that I have a slight issue with, because it's you split them into two groups, but then one of them will randomly die. So no matter who you split up, there you could split it, good people, evil people, and all the good people could die.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
what I would do is I would inform humanity that two groups must be made and let them choose for themselves.
Ooh.
So that way
Yeah,
it
you guys
wasn't
are righteous
necessarily
gods.
in my hands. Because then at the end of it, one of them's going to randomly die and I have no control over who it is, but at least they were given their choice of which side they wanted to go with.
It's like, would you like the red one or the blue one?
Hear me out. People that can eat peanut butter and people that can't eat peanut butter.
Man, I don't know how I feel about that, because I have friends with peanut allergies, and I wouldn't want to just be like, yeah, okay, you guys go screw yourself, you get to die. Or maybe I'm going to die because I can eat peanut butter, and I love it. I feel
People that are cool and people that are cool, because everyone is cool.
Man, I still like the idea of, like, I was like, how can I split people without splitting people? And it was, man, I'm going to split people based on if you have a predetermined destiny, like you have this innate purpose in life beyond just, like, what your parents plan for you. Like, actually, like, a destiny. You are... So, if you want to say religion's legit, then Jesus would have been on one of those sides. But, like, other than that... Technically, I wasn't born, so...
But see, the problem is, Tina, is that still one of those groups would still die.
It's true.
I
So
know.
you either are
So
killing all of
splitting
humanity
them-
or you're killing none of humanity. So you're actually creating a 50-50 chance of either all of humanity dying or none, or 50% of humanity and 50% of humanity dying.
So instead of letting people suffer with the loss, is that we all live together, we all die together. It's either we're all gonna make it or we're not.
Okay.
Gonna. So like,
so
would
not the Thanos snap.
Would you
Instead of that,
rather
it's-
like? I guess my thought is I would rather die with those that I love than live without half of them. Like, say split all my friends half and half, and I'm in the group that lives. I would rather have died than see all of my friends die. Like, sure, I would have eventually learned to cope and get over it, but I mean, I would never be able to get over the fact that could I have made a difference? Could I have swapped places with someone? Could we have switched sides? What if it was the other way around? How would they be taking it? So it takes the choice out of everyone's hands and go, okay, we're gonna roll this dice together and we're all gonna win together. It's a team. You win together, you lose together.
I'm telling you right now, Tina. What
would you do if I was gone, Beau?
Partner in crime, partner in time. I absolutely would sacrifice all of KRWBY for you.
Dang.
Aww.
That's
honestly,
gay.
Beau, you are an KRWBY.
Wow.
Oof,
I'm an
the
Arcadia gay.
Bays.
Dab.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like those answers. Those are very deep. I was just going for like some trolly meme stuff, but it actually is serious. It's like one of them will randomly die. If it was just like you can split humanity into two groups, but there's no consequences, that would be interesting. But the fact that they'll randomly die I think that mindset, it does kind of come down to, do you want half of humanity to live, or do you want them all to go together?
I would separate, if it was for like memes, I would separate people as in like people who abuse animals and people who love animals.
Ooh.
And
well, that's not memes, that's just life. That's just
I know. So I'm like, I don't care. Like, we're rolling the dice, and all of you guys, I hope, are on the other side of that.
Just for the sake of either way, you're going to get rid of horrible people potentially. Is I would split them between, and this isn't memes, but I would split them between people who would abuse animals and people who would abuse children, because it's just like, either way you're getting rid of a group of shitty people.
Yeah, but then you only potentially have the people left that abuse children.
Yeah, but then you know that all you motherfuckers that still living are fucking horrible people.
And you know, just to not let your kids around each other. You're like, nope, okay.
Ooh. You're right.
Call fucking Child Protective Services.
But even the Child Protective Services abuse children.
Oh my god. Yeah, the ones that were left would be, oh man, that would be messed up.
No.
You know what's sad is how messed up that concept is, but how true it can be at points. I'm sure there are people in professions.
Here's the thing is, it's not necessarily something that they might actively be aware of, and for all you know, finding out that was the criteria of how they survived is maybe it might awaken them to realizing how shitty they're being, and it might change their ways.
Ooh, that's fair.
On another, like, since we're talking about like people dying, and this is a little bit morbid, so sorry if this like tanks this a little bit, but
No,
have you ever like sat there and wondered, like, man, I wonder what people would feel like if I wasn't here tomorrow? I have this conversation.
I think it like a daily basis.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
yeah, I think it does cross people's mind, but it's about whether you let that consume you or hold you.
So like one of my biggest things is my whole goal in life. Like, I don't have necessarily like, here's my end goal. I have like, I want to make a name for my family. I want to make an impact on people. I want to encourage people. I want to inspire them. I want to make my family proud, but be able to encourage and inspire others to hopefully do better and be better people. That's literally like my mantra, I guess you will, or what, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. My philosophy of existing. Like, I want to do this. This is what my goal is. How do I get there? So I'm always like, man, like, I don't know, 3 years ago, I felt like if I was gone tomorrow, very few people would notice or care. And that's just me being like, I don't know, I beat myself up a lot. And now I feel like I have this point where, like, you guys, like, I feel so loved and so just part of something that I'm like, man, if I was gone tomorrow, I think people would actually care. And I don't know, like, it's I don't know. Like I said, talking about people being gone, I was just thinking about
when it comes to that kind of mindset, I have kind of a similar thing, but a little different. I don't really care if people remember me when I'm gone, because when I'm gone, I'm gone. I don't care if my name goes down in any type of history or anything like that, because when I'm gone, I'm gone. I can't experience that love. I can't experience that camaraderie. I want to, while I'm alive today, do as much good as I can with the people that I love, with the people that are also here today. I want to exist with everyone, and whatever happens in life, I want to be able to do it together. And when I'm gone, I'm gone. It's not about necessarily being there to see the trees that grow, but planting seeds that others can benefit from, even if you're not there.
That's so true. And that's a lot of how I look at it, because it's like, someday I'm going to be dead, and it won't matter because I'm dead. Like, that's life.
But while you're here, love the people you love. Be with them, Yeah,
or I kind of have this moment where I'm like, man, I hope I can create something or be part of something that can impact people even when I'm gone. And honestly, like, that's something, getting a little heavy. You know, it's beautiful to see, you know, Monty created, you know, RWBY, and to see how it still affects people. It's still inspiring and inspires us. But yeah, I don't know. I want to be able to do that for other people, and not necessarily like I want to do this when I'm gone, but how amazing would it be to create this legacy that could impact people, even when I'm gone, that those words of those weight can still, you know, inspire people or encourage people to do better, be better versions of themselves, and maybe help them find their own purpose along the way. So I don't know. I always think about those things.
I don't necessarily want to be remembered myself. I just want my actions to be remembered.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I don't want people to be like, oh, Tina, she was so great, whatever. No, I could care less. Like, I care what people think, but when I'm gone, like I said, I don't care. I want people, I wish there was some way to know, like, when I'm gone, to have that kind of look back and go, okay, cool, I made a difference. Even if it was just with one person, I made that difference. So every single time I get a message like, oh, you inspire me to do this or this, that, or the other, it's such a heartwarming thing. Or when people say, oh, KRWBY's inspired me to do this, and they take that time to like message me or someone else on the team, I'm like, yes, we've done it. This is exactly what we're here for. And I don't know. I always I think about a lot of that stuff pretty often because that's what my goal is. I want to make people happy. I want to inspire people. And to be part of this team, I feel like it's such a great means to do that. But
speaking of inspiring people, why don't we go to our last fan question before we start wrapping things up?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right. So this question comes from Jameer Jones, and it says, you guys probably get asked this a lot, but how does it feel to meet the people who inspire you? To joke around, chit-chat, or just get to know them?
Okay, so... as I go throughout life, there's different things that I fall in love with, and there's different people I get to meet, and whatever it may be. Not saying I always get to meet someone, but case example, I fell in love with Legend of Korra when I thought I was gonna hate it. Sent Janet this long email, and within 20 minutes she responded. So it was this really cool. Within the first, after the first season was done, had this interaction with Janet. We talked, went back and forth. We still talk from time to time. We're still friends, which is really cool. But, she was one of the first people that inspired me really to be comfortable with who I am as a woman, which I didn't have before. I wasn't proud to be a woman. I wasn't happy to be a woman. I didn't feel right. I don't want to say in my own body because I feel like I'm what I'm supposed to be, but I just didn't have that comfort because I was coming into my own. And I still am, but, having that inspiration is one thing. But for me, meeting her was really cool. But I'm going to say the person who takes the cake for me is Lindsay. And I don't think that's a surprise, definitely to you guys, because we've talked about it so extensively before.
Oh, yeah.
But Lindsay and Beau put it into a beautiful perspective. She's somebody who I can relate to with her social awkwardness and her demeanor. She has such a great moral compass and being. And, of course, she plays Ruby and brings Ruby to life. And lives vicariously just as much through Ruby as I do, and embodying that character, bringing that good to her. But getting to talk to her and her first open up about some of those social insecurities and things that she struggles with and some more personal, heavy stuff was kind of I had this moment where I was like, oh my God, she's talking to me about this. We met once before. That was the first event that I was working with him at. And then we had that conversation. And I remember, I felt so honored that she felt that comfort to share a lot of those personal details about her life with me. And that was, such a surreal thing. But getting to have those interactions with her is, I can't put it into words. It's such a thing. And then when she kind of looks you in the eyes and tells you, you're doing a good job, keep doing it. You're okay, I have to, the mantle hasn't been passed, but she's slapped that seal of approval on there, and I feel like I have to wear it proudly and do right by her. So Lindsay's my hero. I could go on about her forever.
Yes. One thing I kind of want to say in relation to that is that it's kind of realizing, or it's this, but it really solidifies it, that these people that inspire you and the things that they do that inspire you, they're just people at the end of the day. And just like you, whether it's entertainment or if you're a doctor or anything, you have your own life and your own struggles, but that doesn't mean that you still can't make a difference in the world. And the things that you do, whether they inspire others through the stories that you tell or through the actions that you do in your everyday life, it's humbling, but it's also a way to show that you can do it too. Yeah. So when I meet people that inspire me, that I grew up watching or that I grew up thinking, oh wow, they're this amazing person, seeing them be humanized in that way and them being taken off that pedestal when you're very young, and there's kind of this two-way dynamic of how celebrities are viewed. But when you're actually trying to do that kind of work and you see, oh, they're everyday people with everyday problems and they're also trying to navigate this industry or this thing, it shows you a path that you can go down to be kind of like that, or to also be that person for somebody else. And that's kind of what it does for me, is when I see people that I think are freaking amazing, I want them to also know that their mental health and their everyday life is just as important as whatever, actually is more important than whatever it is that they're doing that makes others happy. No one should ever have to suffer to make good art or to put something good into the world, or else it's not worth it, no matter what it is. So seeing people realistically be able to live their true life the way that they want to, but also put out something inspiring and good in the world, inspires me to tell me that it's possible that I can do the same thing.
I before, and Beau, I'll let you say what you want to say. I think what a lot of people struggle with, and I know I can have great interactions, I feel like, with people, but mentally I have a really hard time getting over it, where, like you said, putting people on pedestals. But like you said, they're people. I had no idea, and I remember it kind of took me so off guard when Lindsay talked about some of the things. But she said it in panels before that she struggles a lot with like social anxieties and whatnot. So I was kind of like, when we first had that conversation, before I ever heard her talk about it in a panel, I was like, whoa, like, what, you too? Like, you're the Lindsay Jones. Like, how is that? Like, the concept didn't compute to me. And then I realized, I was like, man, they're people too. They're people
Mob Psycho 100, the theme song, says it best. If everyone is not special, then you can be who you want to be. No, there isn't truly a gate keeping you from being whatever it is you want to be. Don't say to yourself, oh, wow, I'm not, that person is so far above me because of this and that, and there's no way I could do whatever it is they're doing. No, you can. They were just like you, a normal-ass person that worked hard to get where they are. There's not, no one in the world is truly like this. Like, it's all about perception, and perception can be reality, but you just have to live the life that you want to live, and eventually you'll get to a place you didn't even know you wanted. And when you look around, when you look back at 5 years ago, you'll realize, I might be that person for somebody else now, because you don't really see it happening. It just happens.
I never thought we'd be where we're at now, even with the project. Like, it's, you know, even at the cons,
we were too busy doing the work.
somebody recognized both Beau and I, and it was kind of like, whoa, okay, what? It was this weird kind of surreal moment too. But it's I don't know. I think too many people put people on pedestals, and I did that at first with Lindsay, and I feel like I still do to a degree, and I just don't want to like be awkward about it, but I really look up to her and admire what she does and how she is as a person. And it's like it's not a goal to be like her, but to follow a moral compass, because she has such, I feel like, a good moral compass from what I've seen and what I've witnessed. Is just like, dang, this is somebody to be inspired by. So,
do you have anything to say, Beau? I feel
sorry. I keep rambling.
Yeah, actually, like, it's really hard for me to pick like just one person that like inspires me, and it's someone that it's people that I've talked about. Like, I have like a kind of top 5, but then I'll actually talk about the one that I want to talk about. Is like the people that I focus on, that I try to like emanate what they put out into the world, is Catherine Burrell, Dominique Provochockley, Elise Bauman, Natasha Negavanlis, and Ashley Birch. Those are the 5 women in this world that really, really inspire me to just be the best person that I can be the best human being to my fellow human beings that I can be. But mainly Cat Burrell, and it's interesting because I've only been in the Wynonna Earp fandom for a short time, since about halfway through season 2. Which would have put it about this time year before last. And it's funny because she was very kind of almost ignorant and innocent of representation, positive LGBT representation specifically, in media before she got cast in Wynonna Earp. And it's kind of a funny story because like the showrunner Emily Andress like pulled her aside and was basically like, are you ready to be a gay icon? Because that's essentially what she ended up becoming. And but it really didn't occur to me until April of last year when I was at Klexicon, and I got to actually be at the Way Hot panel, which is the ship name for her character and Dominique Provochockley's character, actually, from Wynonna Earp, which is called Way Hot, where someone asked them, like, what would you say the biggest, like, surprise was that you found from being able to play Nicole? And her response was something along the lines of how severely lacking positive representation was when LGBT people exist just like anyone else, and how she was angry that LGBT and queer representation was still so like stigmatized, that people really only want to throw those characters out there just for the sake of like shock value or comedic relief, that they're not given these serious plots or treated like normal people. And that was something that really kind of, you know, you can go and watch it. It's from Klexicon 2018. Yeah, Klexicon 2018, the Way Hot panel. She talks about it. And that was really where I started being like, you know what? I'm going to kind of look into, you know, other panels that she's like talked about this kind of stuff before, because it really made me realize how much she was wanting to use this platform that she'd been given to be able to like essentially lift up the voices of all these queer women that have felt like they've been so thoroughly wronged by media nowadays. And come to find out, she actually, I'm really sad that I missed it. There's a group, an organization called the Green Ribbon Club, and my understanding of it is it's basically like a mental health organization, and they you know have conventions all over the country, I think. And they actually a few months back had a convention at the time right by my house. It's the same place where BlizzCon's gonna be, actually.
Oh, nice.
And Kat Burrell was a guest, and she did a speech about how she struggles with social anxiety. And that was something that I so thoroughly, you know, kind of tying into, you know, what you were talking about, Tina, is that was something I had never really had someone that I admired, that I looked up to or was a fan of before, that, you know, was basically like, yeah, that thing that you're struggling with, I struggle with it too. Like, you are absolutely, like, it doesn't make you any less of a human being for struggling with this. Like, there's nothing wrong with admitting that you have this thing that you're struggling with. And, like, it was the first time that I'd ever really felt validated about something like that. And so getting to meet and talk to, like, I'd met her before at Klexicon, but actually getting to kind of go up to her booth because the Winona actors were actually right next to the KRWBY girls, so it was really convenient. Getting to go over and actually talk to her for a few minutes over the course of this past weekend was really just an awesome thing to get to do, because she always feels so present. Like, you know, some people, when you talk to them, they feel kind of like lights are on but no one's home, like they're just kind of there as a formality. But like she always feels so present, and she feels like she's giving you her full attention. And it's just like, you know, like I'm like Tina, I don't like to fangirl, I don't like to, you know, like put people up on a
You were
pedestal.
having a moment over the weekend.
Oh yeah, I think we all had a few moments over the weekend.
I had a lot of them.
But she's definitely someone that I very, very thoroughly admire and look up to, but not necessarily a sense of like she's someone that's unobtainable. Like, I admire how realistic and how normal she is. You know, because like if I felt that she was, I'm the kind of person that's, there are a few like celebrities out there that I'm like, holy shit, like I don't even want to approach them because they're like god tier to me. But like, and that's not to say that I don't respect them or that I don't respect her or whatever, but that's the thing that I admire most about her, is that she is very approachable, because she doesn't feel like she's that unobtainable person that you just can't interact with, you know?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing us sharing that with us, Beau.
Yeah.
We do need to start getting to the KRWBY News Corner because we are running out of time. But yeah, why don't you go ahead and take us there, Beau, to our magical KRWBY News Corner.
All right. Well, y'all know the drill by this point. Welcome to the KRWBY News Corner. My name is Beau.
Hey.
I'm going to be your host. Gonna talk about some KRWBY stuff going on. Rolls up my sleeves, even though I'm not wearing sleeves because it's hot as balls in my room. So first and foremost, we actually have a bunch of new models and assets that were completed by the modeling team for the VR shorts. So we're really excited. I've been kind of low-key keeping an eye on it, and I guess now technically as like the VR short department lead, I should probably like look in a lot more often. Tina and I are gonna have to go over stuff like that. But But yeah, some of the stuff that's been worked on is like so incredible. Like I'm always so impressed by seeing what the modeling team has up their sleeves and whatnot. So I'm really excited for you guys to see what's going on. We've got a couple scripts in the process, or in progress technically. We just literally are starting to work on like the Halloween short. Which is something that, you know, I know that was really popular last year. You guys all loved the very spoopy holiday, and we loved it too. It was a lot of fun. And then also hopefully getting to work on our next Christmas holiday season short.
I'm sorry, nondescript winter holiday?
Well, yes, nondescript winter holiday, but I don't want to make any guarantees that it's going to be related to the previous one. That's why I didn't want to call it nondescript winter holiday.
Well, it's not Christmas, though, either. But also, I do want to add in that we did have there are other shorts that we were planning on and working on throughout this last year. But I'm sure, as you guys have seen, we haven't really put too many of those out. We had a lot of stuff going on, and we kind of just needed a break. And kind of we took an extended vacation on the shorts. They're always very, very, long and arduous to make. So you're looking at a 40-day turnaround. And we pretty much, since they started, we're going nonstop on them until we stopped with Welcome to KRWBY. So we did have other ones. We had so many awesome ideas and things that we planned on doing for like RTX and afterwards. But unfortunately, we just we backburned a lot of those ideas for some mental health.
That's also not to say that we're not still working on stuff. That's just
true.
Actual,
we are.
Like physical production, like recording, filming, that stuff definitely has kind of been on the back burner. But the actual like conceptualizing, writing, you know, all of that stuff is definitely still happening.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like a lot, actually. So yeah, we're excited to bring those back and, you know, get the ball rolling on the next set of a couple holidays coming up. Moving right along, the comic dubs, the fourth episode of the comic dubs just came out and has already broken 70,000 views. That is absolutely insane. Came out, I think it's 6 days ago today. And like, you guys are insane. We appreciate your support and your love so much. That's just, we've been like every day it's like 10 more thousand, and we're just like, it's just blowing our minds. So
we're like, does this madness ever stop?
Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, if you haven't checked out the other comic dubs yet, or if you haven't checked out the comic dubs at all, like, please go check those out, because those are a lot of fun. I know that I've had a lot of fun on like the one. I think I was in the first one, right? It was the Sisterly Love was in the first one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This last one was the drunk comic dubs, but because I'm gonna say it because people keep asking, they say, "Where's drunk Ruby?" Ruby's too young to be drunk, so I refuse to record anything as drunk Ruby. I'm just letting you know. Don't be disappointed.
I
said no, but everyone else has.
We should get her chocolate wasted, where she just eats a lot of sugar.
Chocolate, it's great. It's great.
Yep. But so moving right along to our like regularly scheduled weekly content, we do have KRWBY Talk every Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern. We are currently covering Fire Force, which is a really, really fun show being done by Funimation. You can watch it on Funimation.com as well as on Crunchyroll.com. And it's animated by the same company that did Soul Eater. So if you love that really stylized, like cartoony looking style, then I would definitely give it a look, because we're really enjoying covering it. That every week is hosted by Brian, Cole, Forrest, Ian, and myself. So yeah, feel free to tune in every Sunday at 11 p.m. Eastern. We have new episodes of Perpetually Ajar every other Tuesday. So we are recording this episode today, lovely Thursday. I almost said Wednesday, September 5th, but I believe that
Peek
this
behind the
episode
curtain
should hopefully be posted on the 10th, right? Tuesday the 10th, I think.
That sounds right.
That is correct.
Okay, yeah. So when you guys are listening to this today, Tuesday the 10th, just know that, you know, we recorded this a little while ago. We typically will record like It's kind of a fun schedule. We'll record like Monday, Tuesday, usually-ish. We kind of delayed it a little bit because we're still recovering from Dragon Con.
I was so sick.
And then the next Tuesday is usually when it gets posted. And then, just keep the ball rolling with that. So you can expect Perpetually Ajar episodes every other Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and 8 a.m. Central.
9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. And without further ado, the last thing that we're going to cover real fast is the Patreon. If you guys haven't checked out the Patreon, please, please, please go give it a look. All of our content, basically, except for obviously our live streams and Perpetually Ajar, essentially, are posted ahead of time when we can on the Patreon. So you'll be able to, get sneak peeks, see all that stuff. You'll get to see bloopers sometimes. You get to see, hear audio that, never made it into a short and all that jazz. You also get a cool, special role for the Discord server and a special, private chat. Get access to screenings when we're ready to show off what we've been working on. So, yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff. And we have a couple different tiers available, so feel free to check it out if you'd like to support KRWBY that way.
Yeah, and every bit that goes in goes back into the project one way or the other. Really helps us out. Of course, we're not going to make you guys pay for content, but if you guys feel like it, it's there. There's an option.
Yeah, none of us get paid. It all goes towards making the content better for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as Beau said, you do get special access to the Discord server, which that link should be below to the server if you just want to join and come hang out anyways. Hop on in there.
And please let us know if you do join the server from specifically this video. Please, I normally don't like people pinging me, but if you join the Discord server off of this video, please ping me in general and say, hey, I came from the Perpetually Ajar episode, because I would love to meet you if you came from this video specifically.
Yeah,
but yes,
and also leave a comment below asking questions too.
Yes,
I'd like to hear from you.
I wanted to say thank you guys for having me on. I didn't think I was going to be on an episode this soon.
Yeah, it's true. Well, then why don't we jump right into the part where we say goodbye and say all the things that we want to plug. So, Tina, where can they find you?
I have Twitter. Everything pretty much is under my name, which is Tina Mickel, TinaMickel, somewhere posted, wherever. I'm that on YouTube. I'm that on Twitter. If you look up my name, you'll find me wherever. Please don't go add me on Facebook. I don't use it. But yeah, feel free to hit me up on Discord. If you join the server, my inbox is open. Feel free to message me. But yeah, cool.
Beau, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter. I've been working really hard on kind of getting more used to posting there, because I really don't use Facebook all that much. It's just kind of like a quick hey, yeah, we knew each other years ago, so please, again, also don't add me on my personal Facebook. It's not worth it. I don't post a whole lot of stuff anywhere anyways. But my Twitter is Beau from KRWBY, BeaufromKRWBY. That's going to be where you can find literal actual updates on what I'm up to, what I'm doing, where I'm at, all that jazz. I do also want to throw out my Twitch, which is something that I do a lot outside of KRWBY. Is I live stream a lot of video games. I live stream a lot of I'm trying to live stream more cosplay crafting, because I do costume commissions on the side as well. So that one's going to be CB Cosplay. And, just throwing it out there just because I am part of the admin team and I like to support it. Please, again, check out the Discord server. Feel free to, shoot me a DM on Discord if you'd like.
Yes, and you can find me, Katy Johnson, on Twitter at KaniDay Official. That's KaniDay Official. You can also find me on Instagram at KaniDay Official, and my Facebook page, KaniDay Cosplay, KaniDay. You can also find me on my other podcast, Weird Flex But Okay Podcast, hosted by myself and Jaxblade. It's called the Weird Flex But Okay Podcast on YouTube and the Weird Flex Pod on Twitter. And you can find me at KRWBY Productions, KRWBY Productions, right here where you're listening to this. And you can find me on Dr. Crafty on YouTube, where we have a fun show about character design and animation, where I play the hostess Pepper. And that is a wrap. We did it, guys. Also, wait, I want to do one more plug. The music that you're listening to, for our intro and outro song is by What's My Name on Instagram and SoundCloud. The amazing artwork that you see is by Lambency, and the editing that makes our artwork go like all wishy-washy and like zigzag all over the place is by ZD. You can find links to all of them below if you'd like to commission them or anything. They are amazing to work with. They create great stuff for really good prices. Highly recommend.
And one last quick plug, actually, just as a special thank you for the opportunities this past weekend at DragonCon. If you're not following Conventions ETC on Twitter, please go give them a follow, because we love them and they are awesome people. But yeah.
Is there anyone maybe specifically that you guys would like to shout out, or do you not want to?
I don't know about shouting out specifically, because I don't know. I know how kind of they feel about that, but anyways, just the agency as a whole represents so many talented people. You know, represent the lovely Winona folks, represent a lot of voice actors as well, a lot of live action actors. So it's a phenomenal agency, and we wouldn't have had the opportunities we had if it wasn't for them. So, you know, I want to give them a shout out and say thank you. And please do go follow them, because if you want to know anything about RWBY and conventions, that's where you need to be.
That's the source.
Then that is today's episode. Tina, before we go, tell us one thing that inspires you. Tell us a quote, anything. Let's end it on a positive note.
Honestly, something that inspires me. The people who who watch us, the people who take the time out of their day to comment on the videos, to message, to let us know what it means to them, those are the people that keep me moving forward. Like, I might get my initial kick from Lindsay, but what keeps it going are these people coming and telling us what that means. So to everyone watching who this has made some, I don't know, even if it hasn't made a difference, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Thank you for inspiring me, because you guys keep me moving forward and keep me doing this, even when the days get hard. So,
well, that is a wrap. We did it. High five.
Woo.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all in 2 weeks, everybody.